What if is a popular phrase in sports. It implies something is missing or it didn't turn out the way that was expected. Bill Walton had one of the most celebrated amateur careers ever. So join me today to find out if "what if" applies to Bill Walton's NBA career in the basketball experiment. Bill Walton was selected first overall by the Portland Trail Blazers in the 1974 NBA Draft. Injuries plagued his rookie season as he only managed to play 35 games. The Blazers were in their 5th year of existence and wound up winning 38 games, a franchise high. In the 1976 season, Walton would stay on the court a little longer, playing 51 games, averaging 16 points and 13 rebounds, and receiving his first career MVP vote. However, the team's growth stalled as they only won 37 games. In the offseason, the Blazers would make some changes, hiring new coach Jack Ramsey, and with the second pick in the ABA dispersal draft, they selected a young power forward prospect, Maurice Lucas. Combining these new elements with Walton playing 65 games and having the best season of his young career, the Blazers would win a franchise record 49 games and make the playoffs for the first time. And we're going to look at the regular season for Bill Walton, his finest season so far. We see the basic stats, quite easily a double-double, 18 points, league-leading 14.4 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 4.2 stocks, including a league-leading 3.2 blocks per game. Certainly an astounding defensive presence and rim protector Walton is. Not a high volume scorer, but still a scorer. He did shoot 52% from the field. But we'll see what the advanced stats say. And they are quite favorable. The PER at 22.9, win shares per 48.215, total win shares at 10.2, BPM at 6.7, and the VORP at 5. Those advanced numbers are telling us that he is definitely an All-NBA first team talent. Now, this is why I don't follow the All-NBA teams, because in this time, well, for the majority of the history of the league, it's done by position. There's only one spot on the first team for a center, and obviously it goes to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, obviously. But Bill Walton played an All-NBA talent as well. He just gets pushed down to the second team because of a ridiculous notion that somehow the All-NBA teams can't just be the top 10 players in the league. They have to fit as a team. In my opinion, it makes no sense. But yeah, in my opinion, he definitely played at All-NBA first team level. In the playoffs, their first matchup would be against Artis Gilmore and the Chicago Bulls. Walton, along with other Blazers starters, Maurice Lucas, Dave Twardzik, and Bob Gross, excelled in the series as they won the decisive Game 3 to advance to the semifinals. It would be the first true test for the young team, facing the Denver Nuggets in a best-of-7 series. The front court of Walton and Lucas came through again as the Blazers won in 6. Now in the Western Conference Finals, it would be a dream matchup for Walton, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers and the game's greatest player, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem was unstoppable, but the Blazers had more depth, and team play led to a sweep and a berth in the NBA Finals. To win the championship, they would have to beat the Philadelphia 76ers with Julius Erving, the best player from the recently dissolved ABA. The Blazers fell down 2-0, but blew out the Sixers in the next two games to tie the series. In Game 5, in which Walton grabbed 24 rebounds, the Blazers scored a fourth-quarter rally against the Sixers to win the game and gain the 3-2 series edge. In Game 6, Walton would put up 20 points, 23 rebounds, 7 assists, and 8 blocks. Another close game. The Blazers withstood another fourth-quarter rally to defeat the Sixers and win the first championship in franchise history. Walton would be named Finals MVP, averaging in the finals 18.5 points, 19 rebounds, 5.2 assists, and 4.7 stocks. And we're going to look at the entirety of Bill Walton's first postseason, which ended in a championship. We see the basic statistics, which we will compare to the regular season. And the points are the same at 18. The rebounds, they led the league in the regular season at 14, and the upset to 15 in the playoffs. The assists jump up from 3.8 to 5.5, and the 4.2 stocks in the regular season up to 4.5 in the playoffs. He shot 50% from the field. Pretty incredible. The 24-year-old Walton in his first playoff run ever, ending in a championship, and he puts up quite a performance, but we'll see what the advanced stats say. Okay, we see the PER is at 19.7, which is down from the regular season at 22.9. The win shares per 48 is down. It's at 0.162, dropping from 0.215 in the regular season. The total win shares at 2.5 for this postseason run. The BPM around the same. It's at 6. The regular season it was at 6.7, and reaching a 1.5 VORP for this postseason run. So the advanced numbers are telling us he's not at an All-NBA level quite. He's definitely an All-Star level, close to an All-NBA level in this championship run. Part of the reason why the advanced stats say that he's not at the same level as he was in the regular season, even though he put up nearly the same production, is that in the playoffs he's playing 5 extra minutes. So the advanced stats take that into account and adjust it. So the number is at 34 minutes in the regular season as opposed to 39 in the playoffs. That's why we see the advanced numbers go down slightly. But that is very impressive for this 24-year-old rising superstar. The Blazers would enter the 1978 season brimming with championship confidence. They would steamroll the league, starting 50-10, but Walton went down with a broken foot, ending his regular season. The team would finish with 58 wins, and despite only playing 58 games, Walton would be named the MVP. And we're going to look at the 1978 MVP season for Bill Walton, and we're going to compare it to last year's regular season. And so we see the points are the same at 18, rebounds just down 1, from 14 to 13. The assists go up by 1.2, 3.8 to 5, pretty good for a center. And the stocks at 3.5, not quite as high as it was last year, but he is playing 1 less minute a game, which I suppose isn't that much of a difference. And we'll see what the advanced stats say. And the advanced stats say that he was having a better season than he was last year. PER goes up from 22.9 to 24.8. Win shares per 48 goes down, but it's roughly the same, 0.215 to 0.209. He only plays 58 games this year, 7 less than last year, so the total win shares is down, but that's to do with lack of games played. BPM, pretty big jump up from 6.7 to 8.1. And the VORP is nearly identical, even with, just mentioned, the 7 less games. So I guess to create some controversy, I would say he's still at the All-NBA first team level, which he did make this year. I would disagree and say he's not at an MVP level. I understand why he won. He is one of the best players in the league, and Portland winning all those games before he went down. I understand it. I still would lean, in my opinion, and say he's not quite there. But still at age 25, it would seem that he still has a peak coming. We will talk about that and what happened when we get there. In the playoffs, facing the Sonics in the semifinals, Walton would try to play, but only managed 49 total minutes in 2 games and could not continue. The Blazers would be defeated in 6 games. The offseason would bring turmoil. Walton would accuse the Blazers of unethical and incompetent treatment of his and his teammates' injuries. He would demand to be traded. The Blazers refused, so Walton refused to play and sat out the entire 1979 season. The Blazers, without their superstar center, won 45 games, but lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Phoenix Suns. In the offseason, now as a free agent, Walton would officially leave the Blazers and sign with the San Diego Clippers. He would not make his debut until late January, only playing 14 games. The team would win 35 games and miss the playoffs. Following several more foot surgeries, Walton missed the entirety of the 1981 and 82 seasons. The team would continue to trend downward, winning only 17 games in 1982. Following intense rehabilitation to get back onto the court, Walton would make his return in the 1983 season, but was still limited, only playing 33 games. The team was still losing, winning 25 games. 1984 would see Walton make a big leap for his health as he played 55 games, his most since the MVP 1978 season. The team was still losing though, finishing with 30 wins. In the 1985 season, playing 24 minutes a game, Walton would play a career-high 67 games. The Clippers relocated to Los Angeles, but the losing went with them, as they would only win 31 games. Walton had finally worked his way back, but now at age 33, he would look to play with a winning team, where he could contribute as a key role player. The Boston Celtics would trade for him. Despite the Celtics doctors being concerned over Walton's feet, Red Auerbach asked Walton point blank if he could play. Walton replied, "I think I can." And Auerbach said to the doctors, "He's fine. He passes." Playing 19 minutes a game for the Celtics in the 1986 season, Walton would set a new career high, playing 80 games and excelling in his role. The loaded Celtics won 67 games as they were seeking another championship. In the playoffs, they would roll through the Eastern Conference to reach the finals. Walton played all 6 games versus the Rockets and contributed excellent production to the entire playoff run as the Celtics won the championship. It was a long 9 years, but Walton had won his second title. In the 1987 season, Walton's health would betray him again, as he only played 10 games. He tried to play in the playoffs, but could only manage 8 minutes a game and missed half of the team's games. Trying to come back, but to no avail, Walton would never play in the NBA again. Okay, we're going to take one last look at the prime of Bill Walton, which is very short, as we covered all the injuries, which just decimates Walton's prime. Only these 2 seasons, 77 through 78, and the 77 playoffs, which we already went into, so I'm not going to show that again. And we'll just take a look at the advanced stats, as I covered before. an all-NBA first-team level talent in the few amount of games we have of his prime, and even his peak, we have no idea. Truly robbed of his peak and having an actual full-on prime. And the question raised at the beginning of what if, well, it definitely applies to Bill Walton. He is a what if. What if he didn't get hurt when he did? What if he was able to stick it out in Portland? And I will say, it's still difficult for me. A lot of people around the time and now feel like he was really going to be up there, like top 10 all time. I think that's hard to say. That's hard to make a case to go out on a limb that far. But would he have been a top 30, top 35 player? Looking at it as the short prime as it is, I think I would say it was headed that way. But it's still hard to just flat out say, well, he was definitely going to be there. But having said that, he has made this list. And I do feel the brief amount of time that it is, the 2 prime seasons, including the MVP award and the 77 championship run and winning the finals MVP, to me is more, it's brief, but it's enough to put him here. He was that good in his time. And of course, it's very nice to see him able to redeem himself by playing for the championship Celtics.
If you agree or disagree, let me know down in the comments. And thank you for watching.